All right, so we thought because it is lockdown all over South Africa, we'll use technology and connect with interesting people in interesting times. In fact, I'm just thinking now, that's what we should call it. So, our first guest is somebody who broke news along with COVID-19 just the other day because he's moving to America. We're doing fine with the disease. The Americans, I don't know. But let's welcome an interesting person in interesting times in the form of, shall we now say, former South African Test cricketer. 10 years for the Cobras, 400 plus first-class wickets. Dane Pitt, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Udo? No, I'm good. It's tough times being in lockdown, but I guess these things sort of happen and it's the protocols we need to follow. So yeah, it's all good at the moment. Very excited for my next venture, my next journey.
Before we talk about the next journey, the next venture, and I think all cricket lovers will know, not all South Africans are familiar with it, but just talk to me about lockdown, guy, because where are you? Who are you with? And just what is the day-to-day been like?
Yeah, I'm locked down with my wife at the moment in Kenilworth, in Cape Town, where we live. We've been playing, she's recommended board games, so then you saw the other day.
Yeah, my name somehow made it into a game of Scrabble, by the way.
Yes, it made it to a game of Scrabble. It's lots of fun. It's something different to do. We stocked up on 5 or 6 board games. I'm sick and tired of Netflix and DSTV right now.
I'm in.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to keep things interesting, but it is tough, being locked down, not being able to go out. But like I said, it's the protocols we need to follow, and things need to be done in order to for the better of the society. So I guess we are in a position where we can make a change, and staying at home is making a change. And
well, brother, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Just look straight into that camera of yours on your iPad there and speak to South Africans who are still roaming the streets, wanting to go to taverns, chilling in the smokies because they want to have a drink.
Can't be chilling in a smoky right now. That's why I stocked up on a couple of beers in my house, so I don't have to leave the house. But please, guys, this is a time where we can make a change and make a difference. Stay at home. It's not that hard. It really is not that hard.
Have you and the wife had a big fight yet? Because it's easy to get under somebody's skin after a few days, no?
Yes, I know. We actually, this new app, House Party, Rihanna Kleinveld, Rory Kleinveld's wife, called me on this thing. And she's just like, Misha is my wife. She said, listen, all the best for being locked down for 21 days with Dane, because he is a strange and weird character to be locked around with. Full of energy most of the time, but it's hard work, but we get there with no fight yet.
Look, brother, from the experience that I've had of you, you seem to be a guy who's easily bored, right? But I'm not in any way linking your decision to go and play cricket in the United States to being bored, because you served your nation. You've given to a franchise for just over a decade. But when did it start playing in your head? How did it start playing in your head that, hey, in order for me to further my career, maybe I must think across the Atlantic?
Yeah, England was always the number one target, I guess, for furthering my career. Obviously, financially, it's a big move to make in order to further the career, and nothing came on the table, unfortunately, and then a ex teammate of mine in the South African A team contacted me, and the rest is history. It just went from there. I was like, okay, here's an opportunity, the land of liberty, as they say, and I was like, okay, this is something cool. I've always been a guy to go against the grain or swim upstream. I'm not a follower in a way. I call myself a leader, so this is probably something that I've done. Shadley van Skalkbeck at the moment. It's caused quite a bit of. There's no sports news at the moment, but I did make the news with my move. So yeah, I've always been a guy to go against certain ways and traits, and I definitely didn't get bored of playing in South Africa. It was just something that came up, and I was like, this is quite a cool challenge, something different.
We've seen the reports. Are you aspiring to turn out for the Americans one day?
I don't know, Udo, to be brutally honest. I got a 3-year contract. That you do qualify to play for a country if you live there for 3 years. So I've got to be living in the US for 10 months out of the 12 months of the year. So that's in my contract, and which I will be doing. But if opportunity arises, and to play international cricket is really quite fun to people that have not done it before. So if the opportunity comes there, then I'll strongly think about it. I'll be 33 at the time, and I'll still be hips, as the colored people say, enough to move around. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'll look at. But right now, I just want to go over there and make a difference, and try to bring a professional element to their game.
Can I ask you an honest question? Because if I look at the timing, last World Cup was 2019. 2023 is the next World Cup. The period in which you're going to be playing will mean you are eligible. Are you communicating that you are in two minds about playing for America because you, I don't know, worried about what your fellow South Africans will think about it?
No. I'm not really worried about that, to be brutally honest. It's just we were the main objective for me was to go there and bring a professional element to the game, and that's what I'm going to do, and try to bring that sort of environment to their cricket. The minor league has got 22 teams in it, so there's going to be competitive cricket. There are decent cricketers in the setup, and they want to start the major league cricket in 2021 or 2022. So that is also something that's quite cool to be a part of. It's going to be similar to the MSL, that we both know quite well. So that is something to be excited about. So right now, that's what I'm going to be looking at and trying to do.
Tell me, COVID aside, do you know exactly which state you're going to be living in, what team you're going to be playing for?
Yeah. No, not yet. I've got a decision to make. So there's four cities that I have to choose between, and then from there, we'll obviously be communicating where I want to live. So yeah.
All right. You're obviously excited about the move.
Yeah.
Who was the first person within the Cricket South Africa setup or the setup in SA that you told about this, and what was their reaction?
Probably my, should say, ex-teammates now at the Cobras. We have a WhatsApp group, and I said there was a interest from America to sign, from the ACE they called, and it's Raviwe, Rory, Lazard, Dane Pato. So those were the guys that knew first, and then contract negotiations came up with the Cobras, and I had to notify them about the move, and they found out. Nabil and Ashwell found out. I gave Ashwell a call actually to tell him that this is going to be my next move, and yeah, the rest is history really.
You do know that if you do play for America in the next World Cup, South Africa's they're going to call you the ugly American or the Acha, ne?
The Acha, yeah. I'll take that. That's fine. I'll at least I'll be playing competitive cricket and hopefully see the big dogs of South African cricket in the World Cup. Yeah.
If you look back at your career, and I can only think as somebody who watched as a fan, there was that England tour. You took 10 wickets when in that series when they were here. You played against New Zealand, and although you bowled fantastically well, you didn't take all the wickets in the world in that series. How do you reflect on your international, on your Test career?
In a nutshell, really, I felt like I did my part. There was never any issues around what I delivered. Most of the games were played in South Africa. I did pretty well. And just unfortunately, I lost my place at the time where I just felt I was getting comfortable, Our batting wasn't really good against England and in India. And in New Zealand, we had big totals. We put on the board something I could bowl at. And just when I started finding my feet, things happened and I was left out. And then I dominated the season again to be called up against India. And India was a hell of a tour. It was really tough. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to put your hands up and say you played against the best team in the world, and they're pretty good at the moment, and that's it, But it was really tough being left out of the national team, All you want to do growing up as a lighty, you want to play for South Africa, and just want to do your best and win Test matches. Unfortunately, we didn't win too many. I only won, I think, 3 or 4 out of my 9 that I've played. But yeah, it was a hell of a ride. I really enjoyed it. Test cricket is really, really hard.
Toughest thing in the sport, huh?
Well, it's toughest thing I've done in my life, definitely. It's really, really hard.
There are those swartgallige people, if I can use that beautiful Afrikaans word, who are going to say, Dane's leaving because he couldn't cut it as a Protea. Dane's leaving because he's nar with Cricket South Africa. That's not.
He was average anyway.
That's not the mindset that you are wanting to leave this country with, surely.
No. not at all. But like I say, Udo, a lot of people's Twitter bios always say opinion is my own, so they're allowed to their own opinion. They've never played the game. Those people that say those things, unfortunately, they haven't. Because if everyone in South Africa could play the game, they would really just sit there, nod their head like you did now, nod their head and say, "Oh, okay, this is what it's all about." But obviously, it's a lot easier played from the couch watching the game, and I always respect it. It's not that I'm having a go at these people. I've always respected what they have to say, because sometimes there are people out there that say, pretty good things. And social media is really one thing I can say about social media to a professional sportsman. I don't know how it is in other sport codes, but to cricket, it's really hard. Cricket's hard itself, but I mean, the abuse that some of the guys cop, it's unbelievable. And some of the guys do read the tweets and stuff out aloud in the bus, and we're like, guys, just look what they said about me. Things to like, surely there's better other colored cricketers in the game. I mean, why can't we just get rid of the whole quota system? Look what Dane Pitt's bowling and all of this stuff. So, I mean, that I will always appreciate those type of things,
Presumably, we're going to step out of our houses around the 16th, 17th of April. Fingers crossed. Although I've got a funny feeling. But what needs to happen before you and your wife are able to hop in a plane and head out?
Yeah, no, it's obviously everything's on lockdown. Embassies are closed. They're talking about the middle of May. I could go for an interview where the first interview is, but they'll try to maneuver something, as they said. But that's what's happening at this point in time.
From the reactions that you got from fellow teammates or players elsewhere in the country, you spoke about Chadley van Schalkwyk has gone over. From the reactions, do you get a sense that other players are starting to kind of think, hey, maybe that's an option as well? I.e., you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with the question.
Yeah. No disrespect to Chadley, but I think everyone knew that he was there. So they thought maybe this is just the, But now that I've done it, it's basically like people are actually sitting up thinking, oh, okay, there's something actually, there. But it's. I know that they are on that side. They are strongly critical of who they bring over. So they will scrutinize who they. So not any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just walk in and say, listen, I want to play in America, because it's something that they've gonna want to develop. So yeah, that's, like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a leader. And this is the situation I find myself in. So if anybody wants to try and get in,
hey, don't come and be an agent yet to take the talent to America, brother. No.
I would never ever do that. I would never ever do that. Ever do that. I don't. No, I'll never do that. Don't do that.
Non-verbal question.
Yeah.
How good?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Comparatively speaking?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot more than if you convert it to rands.
2 rands, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more than.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of living obviously needs to be factored into that as well.
And that's one of the major issues where I want to set up, because cost of living is going to play a massive part. But Los Angeles is not that bad.
Okay, so you've made up your mind already.
No.
You have made up your mind. Listen, last two questions. Bearing in mind that you still need to go and have your interview at the embassy, what would you like to say on this platform to and about American President Donald Trump?
We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries.
No, nothing. No comment.
And then final question. And I'm just thinking about this now. The year's 2023. Dane Pitt has been in America for 3 and a good few years. He's selected to captain the American team at the next 50 over World Cup. In that first press conference, I come to you with a mic and I ask you just what a privilege it is to represent a second country in your lifetime. In your best pseudo Cape Flats American accent, what's your response?
The fuck?
Dane Pitt, keep it that way, my brother. We've loved what you've given to your country, what you've given to the Cobras, and like I said, keep on keeping on.
Thanks, Udo, you legend. Thank you very much.
Man.
Enjoyed it.
Interesting people, interesting times. Sha, brother.